Are we just gonna stare at the? Let's just stare at it. I don't know what's happening.
Huh?
All right, Anthony. So Anthony's on another planet.
What?
Yeah, right there, bud.
Huh? What?
Oh, I get it.
And scene. Is that? I mean, come on. Is that a McConnell or what?
That was pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You need to do more of this, though.
What you do? I'm sorry, listeners. Frank's got such a great visual McConnell impression. So good. Do it again.
You just gotta squint your face up into a turtle and pull your glasses down a little bit on your nose.
We're goofing, but it is kind of sad. Mitch McConnell freezes.
It was hard
again.
to watch.
It was hard to watch. This one was harder to watch.
Yeah, it's hard to watch anybody in some kind of decline.
Yes.
I don't care how
well our viewers know that.
Crazy and batshit and evil they are. It's watching anybody in distress is sad.
Yeah. Tucker Carlson went on a crazy, coked up, wonderful run.
Wonderful?
Just wonderful, coked up, crazy run on who's the Daily Show guy?
Jon Stewart, the older guy?
No, the Man Show. Sorry, not the Daily Show, the Man Show guy.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, the other one.
Oh, Adam Carolla.
The less successful, yeah, Adam Carolla. Yeah, that's Adam Carolla. He was great. Tucker was great. He was just coked up. He's Obama's gay. Trump's gonna get assassinated. We'll go over all the wonderful things that he said. He was on a roll. I love
how he has a microphone anymore.
Yeah. Ye PDA Kanye I think in Italy getting topped off, as they described it. This is one person I saw say
topped off
in public. Yeah.
As in
getting brains, getting a little.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Plus, we got a late night podcast. We've got the Biden tapes, and a Connecticut man finds $5,000 and then gets in trouble for it.
See, it all comes back to you.
All that and more, my friend. That is a podcast.
That is a podcast. I don't want to make fun of it.
I know
people who are.
It's our job, though. That's our job.
I know.
It is kind of like, though, with the first, like when you hear Grandpa's sick, and then you're like, oh, that's bad. That was the first time, and then this time that he froze, we actually got to see Grandpa, and then it was like, ooh.
They had to like answer the questions for him, repeat them a few times, usher him off the stage. Kind of, it was bad.
It was very, very bad. Yeah, I think it was about 30 seconds. So the reporter asked him if he was. First of all, I don't know who this reporter was, but what a dick to be like. How's that a re-election? You gonna run? You gonna run again? Like, what is?
Yeah. No. In 3 years, by the way, is the re-election for him.
Oh, I thought he's up for it next year.
2026, I believe, is his. It's every 6 years or something. Yeah.
I mean, listen, we're trying to make September at this point, if we're going to be totally honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be the McConnell goal. Like, let's try and get to September. We're on a month-to-month lease with Mitch McConnell. 81.
81. Yeah, he's up there.
He's been in the leadership. He's been the leadership since 2007. I mean, you're talking about 16 years of being a upper echelon level of douchebag. Mm-hmm. That's going to wear on a person's soul and mindset, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna break you down, buddy.
It is really going to send you for a, it's going to challenge you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he's he sucks. But it is hard to watch because it's like it's awkward and it's cringy, I guess is a good word.
Yeah, it was super cringy. It was not. Yeah, well, I'll leave it in the background. The reporter asked him the question, and
you just yep.
And Here it is. We started the pause. And then, like, I guess, I don't know who this lady is, but he's got a lady near him that, yeah, see, she's like, oh, let me jump in. And then she's like, could you answer the question? Like, no, usher him. I will.
Immediately, no more questions, and then turn him around and get him out.
Yeah.
But she says, no, we'll take one more question. Like, what?
But look at him. He doesn't want to let go of the little podium there.
I think he's holding himself up. I don't know, though.
He's holding on for dear life.
Yeah, it's bad. He's in bad shape. I don't know if, I'm sure he's been to doctors and whatever, but there's got to be some kind of diagnosis that we're not aware of.
It's like this is it. You've gone to the well twice now. He should no longer. I mean, realistically, he should resign. He should say, "This,
oh, yeah,
I'm gonna."
That's it. I'm not in the best of shape. Yeah, I gotta step down.
He should step down. He should say, "I'm going to step down on the 31st." You could have a special election, have somebody run for my seat next year, or whatever the protocol is of whoever takes over or whatever it is. You know,
right. Yeah,
he could just be in the background and be silent for the next 3 months.
Yeah, time to hang it up. It's over. I mean, retire. He's not. He's going to go from this to being gone. You know, it's not. There's got to be some kind of retirement period for him, I would imagine.
But what's crazy is
skip right over retirement.
Yes. What's crazy is, and what is he? What state is he? Alabama? What, I forget. One of the poor shitty ones down there, Kentucky, whatever.
Yeah, I think he's Kentucky. I can't. At the top of my head, I can't think of it. Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky.
The Senate count is what? It's isn't it 50-50?
I think so.
Right? I mean, that's what they think. They'll prop this poor son of a, just like who was the they do this with the chief justices all the time. The Gator Binsberg.
Wow.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Who needs to retire? I think you're on your way, buddy.
What? They propped her ass up for years. You know, she should have, it was her time to go. You know?
Yeah, when it's there should be term limits, and there should be, I mean, I don't know if a required retirement age should be enforced, but I mean, enough's enough. This guy's been in the game for long, probably as long as we're alive.
Yeah, no, but my point is though, is that they're dead even, and the Republicans will be like, no, let Frankenstein, let Weekend at Bernie's fucking stay in there because we can't lose the seat. We can't afford to lose. Not that they would. I don't think a Democrat could sweep in there, and
not in Kentucky, probably not.
Oh, wherever he's from, I don't even know. Alabama doesn't matter.
It's one of those.
Doesn't matter. Let's be honest. We could take 4 or 5 of those states and just turn them into one, right?
It was a joke. I'm going to butcher it, but it was on Family Guy, and he goes, it's something about the Louisiana Purchase. And he names all the states involved in the Louisiana Purchase. It's like, if we get this, we get Louisiana, Kentucky, and he names a bunch of them. He goes, what are the chances all those states suck? And it's all, it's just all terrible.
Yeah, those are rough states.
Let's see.
You get into the middle of the country, and it's a little, I mean, even a grown, accomplished adult as myself, I probably would have a tough time. I think I could name all the 50 states is what I'm saying, but I would struggle at some of those mid-southern states in and around Texas. That would be a little difficult.
It's not, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. It's like, I mean, it's nice land, I'm sure, but what are we doing down there?
You know what else too? Like, let me ask you this. Answer honestly. If you give me a map of the country, I could name the states. If you start popping those states out by themselves and you just show me the shape of the state, that's tough.
A lot of them are just rectangles, man.
Yeah.
With a little, something going on, like a rectangle and a little thing sticking out, or a rectangle and it's just they're mostly rectangle. Why did we? I guess it's just easier to chop it up. Why is some states so weirdly? Why aren't they all rectangles?
Well, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah. When we got there, we just gave up. We were just like, it doesn't matter anymore. Nobody's gonna live here.
I mean, there's some weird states that have just weird shapes to them, like Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's one of those two double mass
It's got
states.
two things. It's got a big lake in between. It's like all over the place.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
It's the same thing with like I think it's Washington State. There's like because they decided to make the border of the U.S. and Canada the 48th parallel, one of the parallels, and so it just there's a big chunk of Canada that's like underneath the parallel. That's technically Washington State. It's just like a little piece that's just like hanging there.
Yeah, but people get straight lines better. They only understand straight lines. But you get like a state like, I want to say, what is it? I think Kentucky is the one where it's all fucking weird. And then like West Virginia, they're all like, trapezoids and weird shapes. And it's like, can we just square everything off, please?
West Virginia was a weird time in our country's past because it was like, we got a new state. What do we call it? And
Paul goes, Frankie, those darn rivers. I know. I get it. There's natural borders and stuff like that, but come on.
There is a losing cool points here. There's a History Channel.
Weird shape.
There's a History Channel special that explains the shapes of every single state.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
And then part of it actually has to do with slavery because I forget what amendment it was. Somebody in the chat more intelligent than I will probably remember. But there was a time when they were adding just before we got rid of slavery, before the Civil War, when we were adding states because they didn't know what to do. They would add a slavery state and a free state. And so that's how you started to get some of these things just kind of like squared off and carved out and whatever. Because that's what they were doing to keep the number equal and even before
I see.
All hell broke loose and they went into the Civil War.
That special should be. I mean, I could tell you why Hawaii's that shape, but outside of that, I mean, Alaska, sure. You cut the line off on the edge, and then everything's all Alaska. But everything in the middle, like, all right, Florida, I get the shape of Florida, sure. But Texas is even the top of Texas is all, Tetrisy.
Well, what about Oklahoma? How they
that
little
rectangle,
slice,
and it's got a little boop that sticks out.
So why didn't that just go to Texas? I don't know.
What are they doing with that?
Stupidity, really. Stupid states. Tucker Carlson on what's his name again?
Say what?
What's his name?
Oh, Adam Carolla.
Adam Carolla, yes. Who I respect greatly. Oh, so I'm sorry. It's good internet tonight.
I'm not a big Adam Carolla fan.
Let me tell you about the time. I like Adam Carolla.
Meh.
I respect him because he was one of the original podcasters.
So?
I have a respect for somebody who's been in the game for a long time. Although I've always felt bad for him because Jimmy Kimmel has gone on to such massive success, and Adam Carolla has just been there.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's been a tough little run, and Carolla, and there is a reason for it. But he hung around the radio sphere for a long time. He was doing, I think he got Howard's when Howard left terrestrial and they started cutting up all his stations. He was like handling LA and all that, I think, for a long time before that came to an end. Anyway, he had
happy birthday, Hey, would you blow me? Go ahead.
Oh, happy birthday, Haywood.
46 today.
Wow, 46. Good for you.
Keep on going, baby.
Congratulations on making it to 46.
All right, so what did Tucker say?
So Tucker goes on. Here's what I can't understand, first of all. Like, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail in the for the episode, but this was so Carolla's got like a podcast studio, like us, where the camera, there's an angle, you could, it's professionally done. So does Tucker. Tucker's got his own little studio now that he does. He calls into the show. This is The View.
Live from hell?
Yeah. Look, it's like he's in an office on a Mac, like tilted oddly, and he looks
bad
like
lighting. He looks like he's warming in a microwave.
Yeah.
He's a baked potato about to explode in a microwave.
He does look like an over microwave baked potato. You're correct.
That's the red light from the. Yeah.
Oh, the stupid thing.
Ruined your joke. Damn it, Apple.
Just coked out of his mind, looking like a fucking weirdo. Anyway, he gets on there and he's talking about. Well, first he said that the media was afraid to report that Obama was gay, which is not the first time I've heard this, but it's the first time I've heard it in great detail. Supposedly, according to.
You mean the married guy with kids? I mean, hey, anybody could be gay, but even if he was, what's the big deal? Who cares?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. My father's gay.
But according to him, supposedly Obama wrote a note to a girlfriend at one point saying that he was gay, which I will tell you this. That does not mean you're gay. I have told women an awful lot of really crazy, strange things in my past to get the fuck away from them. So I'm sure I'm gay was in there. You know, I've said a lot of crazy shit just to be like, please leave me the fuck alone.
Go away, kind of.
Yeah. So
that could be.
That's not entirely proof, but there's a guy out there who Tucker admits is a bit crazy and has been proven to be a liar, but he still believes
however,
him for this.
But let's believe this. Whatever he has to say next is probably true.
Yeah, his name is Larry Sinclair, and Larry Sinclair alleges that Obama bought and smoked coke with him.
Can you smoke coke?
Cocaine before they had sex in 1999.
Hey, they were partying like it's 1999. All right, I mean,
good point, Frank. It was Y2K. People were like, "We might be out of here."
We thought that was it. Anything went back in '99.
Yeah,
but even if that's true, who cares if he's gay? I mean, they're just trying to anything they could do.
Well, to just to be fair, Tucker did say that, and I didn't watch the whole interview. I just saw clips. So he did say that, but his point is that the media was afraid to cover it. Whereas when they cover Trump, excuse me, they go after everything.
Yeah, but it's like they don't go after there's conspiracy theories about everybody. They can't cover every single one of them or else they'd look batshit.
Yeah. I knew Obama was gay the second he put on a tan suit. I'm like, look at this queen. He's just in there running the White House in his little tan suit.
Go get him.
Because nothing says just straighter male to me more than a fucking blue blazer and a red tie. I fucking hate our politicians. Did you see? We didn't talk about this too in the Republican debate. Every last one of those son of a bitches is wearing a fucking red tie in the debate. I swear to God. They are.
Because it's they're Republican. They have to put that image out there.
I'm at the point.
Walk out in a blue tie.
I'm at the point, Frank, where the first person to wear a yellow tie will have my vote. I don't care who they are. The first person to be like, "Fuck it, I'm wearing yellow tonight." I'm gonna be like, "You're my person." I don't give a shit.
Bet the next person, those suits you see for sale, like in those ads, like on Facebook, that are all whacked out and crazy.
Yeah,
they have like crazy patterns on them, like question marks or stars or whatever. First candidate who wears nothing but those is probably going to take the lead.
That'd be nice.
No matter who it is, they're just gonna. I'm the crazy whacked out one. Vote for me, and everybody's gonna be like, "Yeah, this guy, he thinks like I do," and it's gonna be a crazy fucking run for the.
I hate them all. The Republicans wear their red ties. The Democrats wear their blue ties. It's like, will you fucking have a personality already?
Take the tie off. Get a pattern on your tie too.
Wasn't Andrew Yang a non-tie guy?
I don't know. You'd be surprised how little I know about Andrew Yang's tie collection.
He really fell off. Anyway, so he went on to say all that. And then of course, he goes down the diatribe of Trump and they impeached him and everybody's trying to get rid of Trump and all this and that. And then he says, which is a great thing that, we're in this seat too, because so you can just say crazy shit and who cares if you're wrong? Nobody holds you accountable. But he says that they're going to assassinate Trump because his claim is that after all the stuff that they've done, he's still in the lead. He says, quote, "We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that."
What does that even mean? We're speeding towards it. I mean, that makes no sense.
what's even more crazy is he says, and I quote, they fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th when it's not even black and white, green and white in text message, of him talking about Trump and what a piece of shit he was and how they were sick and tired of it and all this jazz.
Yeah.
So just more craziness from Tucker. But it is listen.
And plus the January 6th stuff. We watched it all happen live. This wasn't that long ago. This was 2 years ago. We all watched it happen. This wasn't like something that happened back in the 60s and it was a big government conspiracy. This happened live on television. We were all watching it. And he's like, oh, this is only half the story. Well, the story we see is pretty fucking terrible. So if you're showing me like some people were walking around, yeah, maybe some people were walking around, but that was before or after they were fucking everything up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
take
a seat, Tucker.
January.
We're losing you.
Man.
We lost you. Nope, you're gone. I use my tie as a belt. Bird 2024. See, that's a great. Aaron C. I'm with Bird. Bird all the way, baby. Fly that bird to the White House. Another slogan. Give America the bird. Would be a good slogan.
I'll give it my back.
Kinda.
I'll give America the bird. That's good.
Give America the bird, baby.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Let me throw it out there. What do you think of it?
What do I think of someone's testicles?
He's Trump's gonna whip everybody up into a frenzy again. Even though it's a crazy thing for Tucker to say, it is possible.
What?
Do you think an assassination is possible?
Oh, assassinations. I mean, it depends on who's pulling the trigger. It's not anything's assassination is possible anytime, anywhere against anybody. Why is that? Why is it just I don't understand. That's like saying, do I think someone will give him a high five? Maybe not. I don't know. How the hell would I be able to predict that? I don't know who's. It depends on who's. How crazy someone can be. Nobody should ever be assassinated. That's. How could you predict that? What is making him say, "Oh, he's going to be assassinated"? Like, what makes him say that? I don't get why that's a cultural thing leading to something. It's not. It's one person's crazy, fucked up decision. How could you say that it's leading that way when you can't predict one person? Every person's actions.
I think what makes him sad. Mike, can you hear me? Okay?
That's bad.
Ah, fuck. God damn it. Fucking.
We're getting bits and pieces of the cursing. We got some of that.
I think what makes him say it is because they're throwing everything at him and they can't get him. So I think Tucker's saying, well, then they'll just kill him. It's easier that way.
Why would he even bring that up? What's the matter with him? It's like, they'll just kill. No, that's not always the. That's not the. That's the lunatic's line of thought. Oh, well, then it's just going to be that he'll just assassinate him. No, or he'll just go away and he'll lose an election and he'll disappear. That's it.
I disagree.
He's going to get killed.
I disagree with how he got there, but I also do feel like he whipped everybody into such a frenzy. And I feel like even towards the end of his first term, like things were getting so crazy. And now we're going back for version 2. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a lot of unstable people out there, and I just feel like.
But anybody could find any reason to assassinate anybody. It's not, it could be the nicest person in the world could get shot at. It doesn't. You're trying to predict something that's unpredictable, unless there's some kind of evidence, but there's no reason to think. I mean, we've had how many years of Trump already, and knock on wood, there's not been any kind of attempt. So what would be his reasoning now? It's the same shit over and over again. Plus, we've got 4 indictments that haven't even played out yet. We don't know what's going to happen.
Well, it's a good point. What if we're living in a world where he beats all fucking 4 and then wins the election? You're going to have a lot of liberals that are going to be on tilt, that are going to get crazy.
Well, he won an election and beat 2 fucking impeachments. So, and he got, he came out on the other side of a failed insurrection. Granted, he's getting brought up on charges for that, but nothing's, knock on wood, again, nothing's happened since, as a result of that. So I see no reason to jump to, they're going to kill him. I think he's hedging his bets because if it does happen, if it doesn't happen, no consequence. But if it does happen, everybody's going to look back and go, oh, Tucker called it.
Yeah.
I think he's just playing it like he's just making a wild prediction. If it happens, then he's going to look like he called it. But I think he's bad shit as well. Tucker will say anything to stay in the spotlight, even if it's a lie, and grab attention. So I wouldn't take anything Tucker says to seriously.
That's why today, on Wednesday, August 30th, I am predicting that Donald Trump will be assassinated.
You see? So if it happens,
you heard it here.
Yeah, good call. I'm predicting that someday we're gonna get to Mars, and we're gonna find gold on Mars.
It's a good one.
If it happens, look at the genius I am. If it doesn't happen, everybody's gonna forget I said anything.
I'm predicting that Conan O'Brien will take the Tonight Show back.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You heard it here first, folks.
I'm going to predict that Joan Rivers comes back from the dead, runs for president, wins, and then goes, nah, I was just kidding.
Oh, I would love that. That would be so great.
Wouldn't that be? I don't want the job. Thank you.
That would be so great.
All right. See, and if that happens, I called it.
Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. Okay. All right, Kanye West is out on vacation. Kanye West, we haven't talked about Kanye since he had the with the Nazis.
Kanye's screwing with your internets. Well, from what you told me in the beginning, in the rundown, PDA is a very light euphemism for what happened. I feel like when I hear PDA, I think kisses, making out, holding hands, hugs. But what you're telling me, I feel like goes beyond PDA.
Yes.
Okay. Glad we got there. So I think he's rounding third on this PDA.
He was on a boat, and
he's rounding the third buoy.
Yeah. So he's wearing like a handkerchief over his face.
Okay. Was he robbing the boat like he's robbing a train with the handkerchief?
Yes, and he's wearing like a suit jacket.
Okay.
I don't think he's got a shirt on underneath the suit jacket. And his wife is on her knees in front of him in one of the images of the capture. Mm-hmm. And then, as I guess the paparazzi, whoever this is, moves around. Let me put this in the chat so everybody can see it. I can't show the thing here, but I'll put it in the chat for everybody, the live chat.
You're going to make me open the live chat here now?
If you're on Facebook or you're on Twitch or you're on YouTube, it's in the live chat right now. Also, if you're on those things, God damn it, hit the share button. Please put it on your Facebook and your Instagram story and your Twitter. Let the world know the AOA podcast is here. Damn it, spread the word, or else you're just stealing. You're just stealing free podcasts.
It's nice of you.
So you can see the one image, and then when the boat comes around, they get a shot of him, and you know how suit jackets are split in the back on the bottom. You could see like his bare ass.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
So I mean, clearly she was blowing the guy in the middle of the water in Italy, which, by the way, part of all of us wanted that. Isn't that kind of like a dream scenario? You take a boat out on
dream. Is that when you know you've made it?
Take the boat out on the old canal there in Italy and you just try and get a little lucky.
Oh,
can't fault anybody for that.
Middle of the day. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. It's not like you're not going to get spotted.
You're Kanye.
I mean,
you know.
Yeah.
But people are saying that he should be arrested for this. And by the way, this is after just weeks and weeks and weeks. Hit that wife of his walks around naked like all the time. She's always wearing like see-through shit, and you could see her hoodies and everything, which I never thought I would be opposed to until I started walking around with kids. And then once you have to start explaining this shit, that's when you start to get a little annoyed. Like, all right, cover yourself up, lady.
Yeah, put a robe on, damn it. But this, I mean, this wasn't exact. They weren't like trying to hide it. They weren't like below deck or anything. They were like on the top of the boat.
Yeah.
In broad daylight. It doesn't look like they're that far from the shore or wherever the hell they were.
Right.
I don't know.
I just feel, could you imagine being in a relationship with him or her? Like, they're just so nuts and crazy. It would be like doing coke with Tucker Carlson. I don't even know what's crazier, you know?
I mean, I don't know her very well. I don't know anything about her really, but he's a batshit crazy nut job.
Well, you have to, how crazy you have to be like, who I want to spend my life with. It's that Kanye.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah.
You know?
And knowing everything we know about Kanye and still picking him, it's some wiring got crossed up there.
And she, forgive me because people might get mad at me for this, but she's just like I feel like a Kim knockoff.
Well, it's funny. I saw this meme. It was, it said something like Kanye got his own Pete Davidson. Because she had short yellow hair or short white hair.
Yes.
And she kind of resembled Pete Davidson a little bit.
Yes.
And it was right after Kim and Pete Davidson split up.
I'm actually looking at that image right now as you're saying it. As you're saying it, I'm looking at that image right now.
Yeah.
That image is in this Daily Mail article that I'll also put in a live chat for everybody, so you can see exactly what Frank is talking about. The one where the girl's got the blonde, short, spiky hair.
Yeah, she kind of resembles Pete Davidson.
Good call, but with much nicer hoodies, if I may be so bold.
The hoodies are ample and more ample than Pete Davidson's.
All right, Frank, I don't care for this at all.
What, a competing podcast?
Yeah. Because of the writer strike, the late night talk shows are not going to be returning from their summer hiatuses.
Right.
Which I don't know when they all started going on vacation in the middle of the summer, when this should have, back in my day, Letterman would fucking grind it out,
Yeah, it wasn't like school.
Nights. Yeah.
They're not teachers. They're late night hosts.
That motherfucker was in there every night, and maybe he took a couple days off for a heart attack here and there, and then he got right back into it.
Right.
None of this bullshit. I need a fucking summer off. What the fuck is that shit?
Yeah. Now I know where they. Is that like traditional? They've been going. They've been off for summers, or is this the first summer they've taken off?
I'll be totally honest with you. I have no idea.
Okay.
I know that Kimmel started it, where Kimmel was like, "I'm gonna quit unless you give me summers off," and ABC was like, "Just take summers off. Who gives a shit? Fuck it."
See, over the summer they should have guest hosts.
That's what I think, and I think they were doing that for a little while. I don't even know what they maybe they were still doing it, but even still, I think everybody has just been off because of the writer strike, and I think it's this feeling of like, well, now we're going back into fall, and everybody's going to be back to school and work, and so those numbers are going to come back up again. People watching the late night shows, and so they felt like they had to do something. So the 5 late night hosts. This is Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver. They're teaming up to do a podcast instead of doing their late night shows.
Okay. Prediction. Can I predict who the worst one on there is going to be?
I would love to hear.
You could probably guess.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the worst one.
I don't think he'll be the people tuning in for him kind of thing. I don't think he'll be the star of the thing.
I have to be honest with you. I saw so they put out a promo like yesterday because I think that's when they announced it, and which I think the first episode is today. I don't know if it's out or not or whatever. I don't care. I'm never going to listen to it. But I just think it's a horrible idea. I think it's going to be a horrible podcast. And I think that
Why?
I'm very finicky in particular about these things.
Well,
You
what's
know? Well, first see if they get decent. That's the
I
first
can't.
step.
You're glitching again.
I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do with this goddamn.
All right, you're back. You're back. You're back. You're back.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking murder somebody at Optimum. I'm going to fucking murder them. Do you know how much I'm fucking paying for? I finally looked it up today. You know how much I'm fucking paying?
$250.
$300.
Yeah, that's okay. So here's what you do. Literally, the end of last week, I called. My wife and I, we talked it over, and we both agreed. So I called up Verizon, and they right now at my house we have cable, we have the Wi-Fi, and we have a landline for some reason. Well, we don't even have a phone hooked up to the landline. It's just that we have a landline, but it all came with the package. So I called them up. I said I want to cancel cable and the landline. So it brought the price. They said, all right, we're going to cancel your cable and your landline, and we're going to give you the faster version of your Wi-Fi. We're going to replace the router. It's going to be the latest version, blah, 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 blah. It brought it from well over $200, almost $300 a month, down to $90 a month.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of the cable, and we're getting rid of the landline. And
I'm
all
doing
we're
it.
gonna have is the Wi-Fi.
I'm doing it tomorrow because I've had it, and I would love to
Dude,
fire this
$200
company.
a month.
Yeah,
To fire who?
this my cable company, because see where I am. For people who don't know where I am, the only place in the world where I do not have a choice for internet. I mean, I technically have a choice, but there is literally one provider, and they're the TV and all the shit provider. But I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the TV, and I'm only sticking with the cable until the first second somebody else provides fast internet to this place. I am out. And I'm not paying for cable anymore, purely out of spite.
Do you have the Wi-Fi extender? Like, where's your router? How far?
I'm
away?
hardwired in.
Oh, you're hardwired.
I'm hardwired
What
in.
the hell is going on?
That's why I'm going to strangle the fuck out of somebody in this off. And I'm paying for the This is for the podcast. It's the business. It's like 300 megabyte. It's the super fast fucking.
Which I don't understand. I have the regular. They're upgrading me next week or in a couple of weeks. I have, I guess, the medium package for. That's what she said. For Wi-Fi, and I have a router extender, a Wi-Fi extender up here. That's what I'm running on, and I haven't glitched out. Knock on wood.
I'm gonna fucking knock somebody's teeth in. All right. Anyway, so the reason why I don't think the podcast, the late night podcast, is gonna work. I'm very particular and finicky about these things. There's a format. There's a structure here. You and I, J Sabs, may not look like it, but we have it. When you have five.
Nope. Glitched.
You have
Glitched
five. I'm back.
Can't hear you. They don't want you talking about this. It's a competing podcast, so they're going to screw with you.
It's late night.
You back?
Am I back?
You're back.
When you have five hosts trying to talk over each other, trying to get the lines, trying to get the jokes, like you and I, and Janine, but you and I for 30 some odd years, we could let the other one have the better joke. It's not, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, maybe there'll be a structure to this. We don't know. Is it going to be? Well, it's not going to be written, I imagine, because of the writer strike. I can't imagine what kind of
right.
What kind of preparation they're going to have for this. Like, are they going to have skits? Are they going to have bits, monologues?
I don't know.
Or are they just going to get on the thing and five people are going to start talking?
Yeah, I don't know. And it's like, there are some shows where I spend some time in the barrel. There's shows where you spend time in the barrel. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's feelings ever get hurt. We all know we're joking with each other.
Yeah. What could they're probably all friends with each other. I feel like they goof on each other every now
That's
and
the
then.
other thing that annoys me. I don't. I liked it when Leno hated Letterman and Conan was fighting. I like they're like they're they're trying to win. These guys right now, they don't try and win. They're like all friends and nice, and
because
it's like
in the long run, there's room for all of them to be watched because now everybody could watch all of them, and you don't have to choose. Like back in the day, it was either you watch Leno or you watch Letterman. You can't. There was no catching it online or whatever it was. Now you could watch all 5 of them if you wanted to, and they would share the ratings.
that's true.
So, plus, what would be good, the late night podcast would be if there were 3 of them at a time, and it rotated out. Every episode was a different 3. Here.
I could see that.
That would be good. Like tonight,
But
we have Seth, Jimmy, and Jimmy.
They're so boring, if I could be honest. And listen,
You could be honest.
Jimmy's my guy. I will never say a bad word against Fallon. But they're all bored. Like Letterman would be fucking his coworkers and having, illegitimate kids.
So that's what you want in your late night host?
Leno was a backstabbing scumbag. Like, I mean, there was just yeah. There was reasons to hate him and love him, and I mean, there was
reasons
excitement.
to hate and love these guys. I like
name
Seth.
a reason to hate them outside of boredom, honestly.
A reason to hate any of them outside of are they not good at what they do kind of thing?
Just blah vanilla-ness. Yeah, I mean, it's like...
Let's see. Yeah, they're all kind of squeaky. I mean, Jimmy, doesn't he have some kind of problems or something? I don't know. He's got a little alcohol going.
A lot of very under control from what I hear, though.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. I miss Craig Ferguson too. Miss Justice.
Me too.
Craig Ferguson was the friggin' man. He had the best show, was the most entertaining because I don't know. I mean, they did skits and whatever, and I guess it followed kind of a format like the other guys, but it was a little more freewheeling, and it was very, who cares? Let's just talk about whatever and go off the cuff, and it was a little more freeform, and he was great at it. Craig Ferguson was great.
He's talking to fucking robots. He's bleeping himself out. I mean,
it was great.
Fun. Yes. Miss Justice, Sarah, he was so fun. Yes, he was so fun. Mercury, everybody loved Craig. He was great at it.
I don't know why he disappeared. He was amazing.
I don't know if you, but did it seem he had a staff of 4?
One more time.
Didn't it seem like Craig Ferguson had 4 people working for him?
Yeah, one guy working the fucking skeleton puppet. I think there was a musician and maybe the cameraman. But he did, yeah, it was great.
And he used to walk up to the camera and slap the camera around and everything.
Yeah. There was one of the funniest things I remember is he opened the show with, they might be giants, Istanbul, Constantinople. He did the whole song. It was him dressed as with the fez and the vest and everything. And he had a couple of people that were on the show, like that worked on the show, dancing with fucking puppets to that whole song. And he had like a violin, and it was air violin, and it was friggin' hilarious. It was great. It's on YouTube if you want to look it up. I gotta look that up. It's Craig Ferguson and Istanbul. It was hilarious.
He was so great. Beaver Boys brings up a good point. Thank God it's not James Corden, because that would then this would be his all time. He'd be like, let's do a singing number. Like, let's do a musical episode.
Yeah, he would be silent for the first 20 minutes of the show, and then you're right. He'd be like, "You guys want to sing some Adele?"
Shut the fuck up, James.
James, if you're not a Jimmy, then get the hell out of here.
Well, that was the bit to announce the show. Steve, what's his name? I almost said Steve Corden.
James Corden?
No, Steve. Who's the guy that I hate on CBS?
Steve who? I don't know.
Colbert. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I like Colbert. I don't know why you
sucks
hate him.
balls.
You suck.
Fucking
balls.
sucks balls. The bit that they announced the podcast with Stephen Colbert goes, "Go ahead, Jimmy," and Jimmy Kimmel starts to talk, and then Jimmy Fallon says something, and they're like, "Oh, he's the Jimmy, I guess." And I'm like, "Oh God."
Oh, they finally brought attention to that anomaly. It's about time they hit the edgy jokes.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to be too, even though they all pretend like they're friends and everything, there's too much ego involved to fucking.
Maybe, but this might be them unhinged because it's not. It's a podcast. It's not going to be them on TV, so it's going to be them cursing and being dicks to each other. Maybe because they're not on CBS and they're not on ABC and they're not doing. This will be a podcast where they could goof off and be dicks to each other. So maybe they'll go that direction. Maybe they won't. I wonder if there are people like who's running the whole thing. Is there a director? I'm sure there can't be writers. I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's just them.
Just
do
them
they
talking.
pick topics? Are they going to just talk?
I don't know. I didn't care enough to look into it a second further.
Gotcha.
Here's the other bad part. They're calling the podcast Strike Force 5. Okay. I believe this is why Mitch McConnell froze today, is because he got this news prior to going up to that.
And he just couldn't
podium.
process.
Yeah. He was like, he wasn't having a TIA. It was that's the dumbest fucking name for a stupid podcast ever.
Were they trying to go with "it's so lame, it's funny" kind of thing?
I don't know, but I hate it.
All right.
I absolutely hate it. They announced it yesterday. How many followers do you think they've accrued on Twitter?
On Twitter for that show.
Yeah.
Followers, I'd say 500,000.
500,000. It's a good guess.
Way off.
7,026. Okay? It's not
Rough.
just me.
That's
It's not
rough.
just me.
See, they should be at 500,000 by now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a stupid idea and a bad idea.
Well, they got to do something. What are they doing? What are they going to do? Podcast
And they're
seems
like-
the way to go, but
Then they go like this. All proceeds, thanks to Casamigos and Mint Mobile, go to support our work staffs. Motherfuckers, you are all multi-million. You all have 30 to 40 million in the bank. I think you could pay a couple of people a few $100,000 that they make for the next 3 to 6 months that this is going to last for. You know what I mean?
I guess they got to sell. I'm sure there's people selling this thing. I mean, it's not just, I find it hard to believe it's just the five of them that came up with this thing in a bubble. And we're like, let's just 5 of us do this. I'm sure there are people behind it. I'm sure they're all getting together and be like, we got to get these 5 guys on a thing. I mean, then it's not just them putting this together.
But wouldn't it be great? Okay, if I'm in the room and if I'm one of the guys and they go, you want to do this podcast with us? I would be like, what would be better is if we just did competing podcasts and made people choose. Wouldn't that be better? If we used each other to try and drive each other to do the best possible fucking thing that we could do?
It could. But then the other side of that would be, why divide it up when we could get it all in one thing? Why split up the audience when we could promote all of us until the strike is over? Then when the strike is over, people can, now you're open, because people of Fallon might not be aware of or care about Kimmel. But once they see them all together, maybe it'll open some doors for Kimmel. You know what I mean? It'll make people want to watch all of them. I don't know. It's like your thing with, remember what you're talking about, the radio thing where you wanted the different stations to compete with each other. It kind of brings attention to each other's vehicle.
But that was creative and that was a bit. It was an angle. It was a work.
This is kind of an angle.
Not really. This is like, let's all get... let's all get together and sing Kumbaya is not a fucking angle. This is going to be boring and vanilla.
Sing Kumbaya. Maybe they're going to be dicks. I don't know.
They're not going to be dicks to each other.
All right.
You could just tell.
When does this start, this podcast?
I think today.
Oh.
Strike Force 5 is live, I believe. today.
All right.
I don't know
how it does.
We'll see how it does.
Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not. Who knows?
The only thing that's going to make it good is if one of them flips the fuck out against the other one. That's it.
That could happen. I could see Jimmy Kimmel flipping out on Jimmy Fallon.
But I don't even think they're daring enough to do that. And here's the thing. Listen, and you could say I'm being a homer here, and that's fine. But Fallon playing it safe, he's the only one with the franchise, right? He can't fuck with the Tonight Show because it is the wholesome Americana show.
Yeah, but he's not. It's not the Tonight Show. He's not on the Tonight Show anymore.
I'm just saying, like he is safe and wholesome and hearty because he has to be. The other ones have no excuse, and they should all be just
John
as edgy.
Oliver. John Oliver, it could be because he's on HBO. His show is on HBO every week, and he could be. He's probably going to be the edgiest one.
Yeah, and he's not even really a part of this. You know what I mean? Because like the other ones are late night talk shows. John Oliver does something entirely different. He does more of what Jon Stewart, and the Daily
He only
Show
does it once a week.
Right. Exactly. And by the way, traditionally, like when you look back at late night, Leno was middle of the road, don't upset anybody, and that's why Letterman was taking so many chances. That's why Conan was so odd and off. That's why Craig Ferguson was so weird, because they all had to be to do something different from the main franchise, and that's what made those late night times fucking great. And now we have just nothingness.
Well, we'll see.
Fuck Strike Force 5.
We need writers. Bring the writers back, please.
No shit.
Biden tapes.
Greg Kelly, who's on, I don't even know, Newsmax, News Nation. I can't even remember anymore.
I think it's Newsmax, but who cares?
It might be. He goes on the other night and he says there are Biden tapes out there that are so horrific. He says they contain, quote, incontrovertible evidence of Joe Biden's corruption. He says these tapes exist and that they'll be released to the public in the coming weeks. He says that the audio is so explosive, it will force the president to definitely drop out of the 2024 race and perhaps even resign before the end of his term.
Okay. So he knows about these tapes and is not at liberty to play them?
He didn't even hear them. He is saying that people that he knows that are reliable sources are telling him that these tapes exist, that the White House knows that they exist, and he says that they're going to be made public in the next couple of weeks.
I feel like we hear that a lot, though.
Yes.
This is like the 30th time in the last 4 months that we've heard someone go, there are tapes on Biden, there are tapes on Trump, there are tapes on everybody, and we hear nothing. For 99% of the time, there's nothing.
What's odd about this is when he was doing this story, and he's on Newsmax.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Great.
He put a little calendar graphic up, and he says that the tapes will come out between September 5th and October 31st. So it could be a Halloween present for everybody. Now I say, if the tapes don't come out, we should be able to beat him publicly with either baseball bats or dildos or bread. I don't know, whatever. Wet noodles.
Bread.
It's
different.
A little insulting. You get hit with a fucking semolina.
A little sourdough to the face.
Yeah.
The old sourdough slap.
Because you just watch it crumble and just crumbs everywhere. It's like in his hair. It doesn't hurt him, but it's kind of insulting. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Some rye stuck in his eyebrow or whatever the hell.
Oh, now I could just a fucking pastrami right now. I would kill somebody.
Oh, pastrami's good. What the hell is pastrami anyway?
I don't know.
I know it's, it's beef, but what makes it that? What are they doing to it to make it all pastrami like?
I don't know, but I'd like to thank my Jewish brethren for it because I think they were the ones who came up with it.
It's very good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
theirs or ours. I mean, it doesn't matter which God you're thinking. I'm just happy it's here.
We're grateful for it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. This guy I'd like to see, like, there needs to be some sort of accountability if you're going to go on television and say that this is coming.
Yeah, because then if it doesn't come out, there used to be retractions. There used to be people who go on and apologize.
Integrity,
yes.
Yeah.
There used to be that. Even newspapers, someone said something or did something that was false, or they put a story out there that turned out not to be true. They would have to legally print a retraction and go, all right, yeah, we screwed up. This was, we didn't have all the facts, but we said it anyway, or we thought we had the facts, whatever the case may be. But something like this, it's just an opinion show or whatever it is. I don't even think this guy, I'm not sure. Does he do an opinion show, or is he a news guy?
It's all, if it's on Newsmax, it's an opinion. There's no, yeah, come on.
That's true. But, there should be, 3 weeks ago, I said there were tapes. Turned out that was bullshit. Or if it comes out, it comes out. I don't know. Maybe there are tapes, but if it doesn't come out, no one's going to go back and go, hey, remember when this guy said this? Should he be forced to apologize or whatever? That never happens anymore.
I think it's because nobody gives a shit. I could care fucking less if Greg Kelly has to apologize. That would mean nothing to me.
That's true. But at least at least there would be accountability in the future. Maybe Greg Kelly might, double, triple, quadruple check his sources before he goes on the air and says something that might not be true.
I think he would only do that if we hit him with a marble rye with a justice, rye. Especially one from Schnitzer's. You know what I'm saying?
First, you got to yell, "Shut up, you old bag," and then it happens.
The fucking Seinfeld references from this show, before Vacation and now, have been on the ball.
Right?
They've been great. Really.
I think I'm gonna watch Seinfeld after this. After we get off the air, I'm watching Seinfeld.
Yeah. Beaver Boys thinks it's fake news. But here, again, just to play devil's advocate and have a little fun, could you imagine that we could possibly be living in a world where these tapes come out and the leading Democratic nominee for president has to resign, and on the other side, the leading nominee for the Republican Party gets put in jail? I mean,
and he's not going to resign. He's not going to stop. If he gets what's it called? Convicted of any of this, you think he's going to not run? That's why he wanted to push the trial to 2026,
right?
Because he was hoping to be president by then, and then by that time, he could do whatever the hell he wants in his head.
He can get it. Yeah. Well, it all comes down to when he gets put on the ballot. They have to get him before it's time to go on the ballot. But I know what people are thinking, and I know there's a lot of tough people out there, especially my conservative friends. However, I do believe that if he was sent to jail, I just don't think people would vote for him.
I think you'd be surprised. I think he was right when he said, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and I wouldn't lose a vote.
I don't know if he was right, but I wouldn't put money against it right now.
I wouldn't, because people, because they see it as him as everything against. Oh, this is all bullshit. So if he gets convicted, it's all a plot against him. It's like, no, he broke the law. That's why he's going to get convicted. But what was it, 80 or 70 something counts, 74 counts against him? I mean,
yeah.
Oh, and they set a date for the trial against him for the insurrection, I believe, is the one that they set the date. It's March.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, this coming March. I forget the exact day, but this coming March starts the trial for that.
Because I also feel like if he is on the ballot as a Republican and he does get sent to prison, one of the other Republicans will mount a third party campaign.
The third party isn't going to do anything.
Third party doesn't do anything if there's two active party. If the Democrats and Republican are actively running, if one of them's in jail, the other one is resigned or / in a coma, dead, then I think a third party candidate could actually win for once.
But it's one of those things where Democrat or Republican, they're going to be like, well, Are you gonna vote? Because I don't want to throw my vote away. It's gonna be one of those. I'm not gonna do it unless we all do it, and nobody's gonna trust everybody to all do it.
No, but it'll be a DeSantis or a Tim Scott or a Nikki. It'll be one of the Republicans running on the conservative party ticket or whatever the fuck, because there's 6 other parties that are just the Republican Party. Same way there's 7 other, the working class party is
but
the
they get a
Democrat,
0.5% of all the votes anyway.
right now. But if the candidates are in prison and are dead, I think that will be
maybe
one of the only times that could be interesting.
I don't see Trump winning, but I do see him getting his base to vote for him.
Well, that's the other thing too. I think the on the fence people and the Democrats will come out in droves to not let a convicted felon get elected president.
I hope that's the case. If he's a convicted felon, guilty of sedition and all these other 70-something charges, he was found guilty. How could you vote for that? That's then we've just gone to a lower place than we've ever been.
Then again, we do have a country of wonderful humor who, when asked publicly on the internet for the first time ever to name a boat, we came up with Bodie McBoatface. So I could totally see them being
that was in Europe.
Let's fucking I thought that was here.
I don't think that was here.
Well, anyway, I could totally see them being like, let's vote for the convicted felon and see what happens. Just to see what happens.
We've gone down that road. We elected a fucking game show host just to see what happens, and it was a huge disaster. So
yeah,
we've learned our lesson. Let's stick to people who know what they're doing, please.
Couldn't you just see Trump doing his inaugural speech behind the glass on the phone? And I'm telling you,
like Hannibal Lecter.
Yes, we're gonna have a great term. Now, I'll finish this tomorrow when I get more time out of the cell.
They tap him on the shoulder. That's 2 more minutes, Mr. Trump.
For now, I got to go to the mess because it's taco night.
And it's a big mess. Got to clean it up. I'm the only one that can clean up the mess. One man in the whole place will clean up this mess.
Do me a favor. Put some money in my commissary so I can get a nice little snack for tonight and come back and run the country tomorrow.
Trump can't survive on ramen noodles alone, folks. I'm doing this for you. They're going to come after you next. They're going to take your ramen noodles. They're going to toss your your house. They're going to take your guns. They took my guns.
I can't have a gun in here. Could you believe it? It's crazy.
Can you believe that? I'm in here. Hold it. I can't have a gun. They took my soap on a rope. I don't know what I'm going to do without my soap on a rope.
Soap on a rope. Frankie, you had the story. A guy in Connecticut finds $5,000 in a parking lot and then later gets charged with a felony 3 months later.
See, I brought this one up to our attention because we had this debate a while back of if you found a bag or a suitcase full of money, what would you do? And everybody chastised me because I said I would bring it to the police. If it's if it's like $10, whatever. But if it's thousands of dollars found in a bag, what would you do? This guy kept the money. It was $5,000. And 3 months later, he's facing third-degree larceny charges.
See, I think that's total bullshit because what are they saying? That he was the guy? There's no way to prove he found it in the parking lot, that he was the guy who stole it?
Well, no, because according to the law, if you find that, I don't know what the amount is, but if you find a certain amount of money, you have to turn it over. You can't just stumble upon it. You have to go through the proper procedure. You have to, put up a sign, whatever the hell they say. You turn it to the police. They have to find the rightful owner. If they can't find the rightful owner, after a certain amount of time, then it's yours.
Let me tell you something. This is total garbage because the law of the land is finders keepers, losers weepers. Okay.
See, I don't know if that's the actual law or if that's the schoolyard law.
That's the only law we need in my mind. That's the America I want to live in.
All right. So if you lose your car keys and I find them, I own your car now?
No, that's different because the car is in my name.
All right. If you
I got you there.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
But if I lose an autographed baseball of Babe Ruth and you find it,
it's mine.
It's yours.
I find it in the street in front of your house. And you know it's yours.
Nothing
I say,
has.
hey, I found it. Here it is. It's now in my house, and I own it.
Well, I'm going to knock your teeth in and try and get it back. That's for sure. But
So don't you wish there was a law that said you get that baseball back?
finders keepers, losers weepers.
Really? So you would have no problem with me having that taking that baseball from you?
It would stink, but it's I couldn't unless I had a receipt for it, or some sort of marking that I could say that that's definitely mine and it's not his, and I could prove it. It's yours. What am I going to do?
All right, I get what you're saying, and it kind of makes sense, but that's not the way it is. That's just not the way it is. So you have to bring it to the police if you find that much. I feel like if you find like $2 on the street, you're not gonna, that's fine. You pick up the $2. No one's gonna come looking for that. But if it's $10,000, $5,000, $10,000, that's a significant amount of money, and you can't just hey, guess what I found on the street? It's the right thing to do is to bring it in, because again, remember what we said. Cameras are everywhere. If you're not worried about right and wrong, there are also cameras everywhere that are going to catch you taking this money and going home with it or leaving with it or bring it in your house or whatever you're doing with it. So there are ring cams everywhere. Everybody's got a camera on their.
See, I don't think it should be illegal to find money.
It's not illegal to find money. It's illegal to keep money. They don't want you having money. Damn it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's bullshit.
I understand, but
they're saying you can't get lucky in life and find a little bag of cash somewhere. That's crazy.
I get it, but I know, and I think you're right. If someone loses their money, it should be all right. Whoever finds it, but in order for it not to be like, I think it prevents people from taking money from someone else and saying, "Well, I found it."
It probably does, but lock shit up
from that.
Yeah, get an alarm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get a safe. Protect your shit.
Well, yeah, but from the journey from the bank to your safe, you lose some money. It
happens.
It sucks to be you. Kind of. That's your.
Listen, one time.
Again, it prevents it. It's wrong to steal, and that's the way it is.
All right, let me tell you a story. There was one time where I lost $3,000. Okay, I put it down on a table. The dealer got 21, and that's it. It was gone. So what am I gonna fucking do? Cry about it? Like that's
no. When you say you lost $3,000, you gambled away $3,000.
It wasn't a gamble. It was a lock. Nobody hits. You shouldn't be hitting on a soft 16 if you're the dealer. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, not according to the table. The table clearly states soft 17 is the.
It's another bullshit rule.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's another bullshit rule. I fix that right now.
16, 17, 18. Oh. Yeah, no, that's different. You didn't lose it. You gambled it away.
Did he find Christina K says he found the money in a bank parking lot. Is that right? Because that's a little sus. That's going to make it harder to swallow.
Stumbled on the bag. Made the unexpected find near a Trumbull bank on May 30th. Near a bank. I don't know if it says in the parking lot, but it says near a bank. Let me open the story here.
I mean, I just think if you get lucky to find some money, you should be able to keep it. There's no reason to fucking take that away from somebody.
There's some reason.
There is no reason. That's your lucky. Now you're spending time in jail. Like that's total bull. You have not broken a law.
Okay. The discovery led to. I'm going to read the part of the article. This is from Pubity, Pubity, on Instagram. Is the name of the website.
Puberty.
Pubity. I don't know. Puberty.
Okay.
It's not puberty. It's Pubity. I don't know. It says the discovery led to an investigation by Trumbull police detectives. They revealed that the bag, marked with the bank's logo and contained, here's the difference, and containing owner identifying documents, had been unintentionally dropped outside the bank and then picked up by this guy. After months of interviews, warrants, and surveillance footage analysis, detectives questioned the guy about his presence at the bank that day and his decision to keep the bag. As a result, he was charged with third-degree larceny and a felony carrying potential prison time and fines.
See, all right, listen. All right, first things first.
Yeah. So it looked like there were ways he could have returned the money.
Yeah, not to sound like Frank here, but
Hey.
it would eat at me a little bit if there was like a guy's wallet in there with his address and everything. That would make me feel bad.
So just because you find money without this money belongs to this person on it, that doesn't make you feel any less.
Well, here,
because it's easier to return the other way.
No, it's not because then the person who they're real. Then there's a name. If I had a way to get it back to you, to me that would feel a bit like stealing. I'd feel bad about keeping that. If it was just a bag of money and there was no way of telling who it is, even if it had the bank's logo on it, I wouldn't give a shit about that at all. There was no way of knowing whose it is. That doesn't make me feel bad because it's like in our society, you cannot physically return that. Like you just can't do it. Like, okay, so but you said bring it to the police precinct, right? Is that what you said? Yeah. Bring it to a cop. Mm-hmm. I hand a cop a bag of money. I go, I found this $5,000 on the thing. To be like, the cop would be like, oh, okay, well, we'll handle it. We'll put it in evidence. That guy's putting it in his gym bag and taking it the fuck home with him.
Well, you never know. What if that money is some part of a plant or part of a bank robbery or marked bills or something that's gone wrong?
Marked bills would panic me too a little bit.
You don't know what kind of money you're handling there. If it's money that's been tracked because it's drug money or something.
Yeah.
You don't know what you find thousands of dollars. There's something shady going on.
That's why, let me tell you what you do. You get the bag. You book a flight to Vegas. You go to Vegas. You hit 3 casinos in the same night, 2 strip clubs. You change all that money out. Now, you can buy chips and then you'll get different money back. That's why the casinos.
We're skipping the laundering now. Instead of larceny, we want to get brought up on laundry.
I'm saying if you're only doing like if you find $5,000, same thing with the strip club. You're not going to get the money back, but you're going to get a couple of dances and everybody's going to be happy about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point. You know, 2 strip clubs, 3 casinos, fly right out of Vegas.
So get rid of the money by spending it.
You don't even have to spend it. You buy $5,000 worth of chips. You play for a little bit. You go cash the chips in.
And that's laundering.
No, that's gambling with money that you found.
If it's dirty money, if it's not, yeah.
I don't know if it's dirty money or not. You don't know for sure.
Well, you don't know. But what if it's?
That's why you go to the casino and change it out.
Got it.
You keep saying launder, but change it out.
Yeah, Your Honor.
Is what?
We're talking about changing it out, Your Honor, not laundering. I don't know where this fancy word came from.
Your Honor, finders, keepers, losers, weepers, and switcheroony. Okay, that's what we have.
Defense
here.
rests. That's all we're dealing with here, Your Honor. Look at this guy. You think he knows anything about laundering? He's just operating on his finders, keepers, switcheroony rule.
That's right.
That he got from 3rd grade.
That's right.
It's called disclosure, you dickhead.
That's right.
We learn all of our law knowledge. We've got all our law knowledge from either cartoons or my cousin Vinny.
You know what? I wouldn't have to switcheroony if law enforcement wasn't so goddamn sneaky, okay? And putting marked bills in and shit.
Well, you know, they got to catch criminals like people like you who want to launder money.
You know what the best thing that could happen to you? You find the bag like that. You open it up. You start going through it. And one of them purple paint things goes off.
Dye pack. Yeah, right in your face.
Gets in your eye. Now you're suing the fucking FBI and the police department.
I mean, I wonder what. That's a good point. If you find that on the street, you didn't take it. You're just looking through it, maybe to see if there's identification, and you get dye packed in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you'd have a case there.
There's a rule. Next time you find a bag of money and you're going through it, make sure your face and your eyes are.
Tape your eyes open.
You gotta take your glasses off, Frank, and go through it thoroughly.
What's in here? I'm looking for identification.
Your Honor,
and then you get blinded.
Frank Campanello wears glasses. Why wasn't he wearing glasses to find the identification? I don't understand.
I'm nearsighted, so I can only see near. I can't see far away, so I took the glasses off to look in the bag, and boom goes the dynamite.
There you go.
But that would be a case again. I think dye packs are used in banks, so you'd have to sue the bank.
True. Someone's getting
Either-
sued. Somebody
either
with more money than I am is getting fucking sued. That's all I know. That is all I know.
Here's hoping you find a bag of money that a bank robber dropped that happened to be filled with dye packs from a bank.
But let me just say something. This is total bullshit. Okay, if you nail the guy, just get the money back. There's no reason for jail time or fines or whatever. No harm, no foul. Okay,
There's another. Yeah, this guy's not Billy the Kid. He's not going on a crime spree.
Exactly.
He picked up the bag. I mean, I guess there's got to be some consequence, or else he'll just try it again. And I don't know.
If you find this guy, you go, just give the money back.
Yeah,
Even if he goes, I already spent $2,600. All right, whatever. No big deal. Just fucking give back whatever you got.
That's true. I see what you mean there. This guy, what did he do? He found money. Fucking, it's not like he didn't steal it from, out of some guy's pocket.
Yeah.
I agree. The penalty should not be very harsh.
Because who's to say he wasn't going to give it back? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say
3
he
months
didn't?
Later.
Well, listen, I have a bag right now in the back of my car filled with clothes that I've been meaning to donate for the last 9.5 months. Okay. So shit just gets in the way.
Okay. All right. I give you that.
Life happens, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I was on my way, and then my kids, I have to pick them up from fucking soccer, and
yeah,
and then I got the this one calling and that one call. I forgot it was there.
Got a hankering for ice cream. Every time I go, it's something that comes up. Shit happens.
Shit happens. 3 months later, I swear tomorrow. I was on my way to the thing tomorrow. I was gonna bring it there. You caught me on the day before I was going in. See, look, it's on my calendar. I wrote it right here. Going in. Bring in $5,000.
That's the key too, right on your calendar.
Yeah, you see, tomorrow's the day. How could I have gone in the future and written this? I couldn't.
Here's my Apple reminder, Your Honor. I just keep rescheduling it. Keep moving it around.
Yeah, delay.
Anyway,
yeah,
poor bastard.
Yeah, so he thought he hit the jackpot. $5,000. Money troubles are over.
And now he's in jail. That's bullshit.
Guess what? This is grand larceny. But yeah, I think you're right. Accidental. But to be fair, I think they said like 3rd degree larceny, which is some fines, but they did say some jail time, which is like, come on, jail
Sounds
time.
like they're trying to scare the guy.
Yeah, the guy's not a criminal. He didn't do anything. Like he just found the money.
Yeah, leave him alone. The only people that have it worse than him is fucking the people that are gonna accidentally wind up listening to that late night podcast.
But I know you say don't put him in jail because if you find $5,000, then we should go lenient on you. But I don't know if jail is the right thing for this guy. But yeah, maybe he's got to pay a little fee, a fine for it. $5,000. Just give the $5,000 back, and you owe another $500.
Let me ask you a question: are you offended at all?
Yes.
By that podcast name, Strike Force 5? Because it sounds like they're going after Star Wars nerds, and then if they accidentally stumble on it and they go, "Oh, it's Late Night Guys," and then all right, I'll try and listen to it.
Well, it has nothing to do with Star Wars. Why would it have something to do with Star Wars?
Strike Force 5 feels like a Star Wars, Star Trek,
like the
nerdy
Force
thing.
No, it's because of the strike that's going on.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
By the way, I didn't realize it was the strike. I didn't put that together.
I didn't either until you just said the Star Wars thing, and then I went, wait, no, strike. Strike. Yeah, so plus it's, kind of, I think they also went with the it's so lame, it's cool kind of thing. Strike Force 5.
I hope all 5 of them find a bag of money outside of their local bank. Okay. That's what I fucking hope right now.
See, if they do, they would do the right thing.
They wouldn't. Fucking vanilla nerds. All right. Oval is in stores right now. Link in the description. In the Amazon stores right now. Link in the description below. Grab that book.
Pick up that Oval, baby. It's a great read.
First one that Aaron C. wrote. Hopefully it won't be the last. Merch links in the description below as well. Click on that. I see a couple of shares here for the podcast.
Nice.
Bird on Twitter, and I see a couple on Facebook. Appreciate that, guys. Make sure you hit the share button, the likes, the loves.
Yeah, we Want to spread the word on this podcast.
We need some organic help. They call that organic help, Frankie.
Ooh, last minute super chat by Kaylin McKenna. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Appreciate
thank
that.
you, Caitlin. Appreciate that wholeheartedly. That's it for us until Friday. We will catch you guys all on the next episode.
Agreed.
We love you all.
Show me potato salad.
Later.
Maybe we should go now.